Scorpio Risings 2021 is a year where you're beginning to become more in the line of fire of the major areas of your life. Fixed signs are all kind of going through it. And there's some tensions between your home life and your relationship life, and debating what risk you want to take or what loyalty you want to stick to. If you're excited to see what the astrology, tarot, and oracle deck cards have to say about you for 2021, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. This video is brought to you by my very own Astrology Academy course. This course is a comprehensive deep dive into the foundations of Western astrology. This includes history, philosophy, technical concepts, counseling considerations, and a step-by-step guide to reading a chart. If this new year feels like a year to dive into the study of the structure of reality through the stars and the planets and everything astrology, now is a good time to get on that, and you can catch both that and my Manifestation Mysteries of the Moon course and my free webinars to start your learning journey all down below. Hi, I'm Maren. I am a professional astrologer, author, and philosophy student. I combine traditional Hellenistic astrological techniques with modern psychological counseling dynamics in order to provide grounded spiritual guidance with my astrology. So some major planetary alignments for the year. We'll start out with that. First off, Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in your Aquarius 4th house. To say the least, this is a big deal. This great conjunction, I have a full video on it down below, but this is an alignment of a dedication to a long-term commitment of a new beginning of abundance in your 4th house of home, family, and property. For some of you, this might be a new reality of starting a family, like buying a house so that you can have children in the years to come, settling down. For some of you, this might be like getting into real estate and that being your career. For some of you, this might be a huge dynamic with your family in terms of like a new reality of how you and your parents interact. If like your parents are going into assisted living and suddenly you're more of the parent, that's the kind of thing here where there is growth and there is a new standard of growth and development in this area of life, but it's very serious. And particularly in the beginning of the year, this will be square Mars and Taurus in your 7th house of relationships and partnerships. So it seems like your partner might not be all on board with the commitment that you're making to something in your home and family life. It looks like your partner might be wanting to make progress and go ahead with something that does not involve the roots of your life. And this is further exacerbated by Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius square Uranus in your Taurus 7th house, which is erratic, shocking, rebellious behavior in relationships and partnerships. And the 7th house is often the other person in our life. So even though it's happening in your relationship, I see this more as either you taking risks that are erratic or someone else that you're in a relationship or a contract with acting erratically rather than you being the rebellious one here. This is particularly exact on February 17th, June 14th, and December 24th, which is when Saturn will be exactly square Uranus and Taurus. So the most potent days, even though this is a year-long dynamic of like wanting to structure this new reality in home and family at odds with some excitement but some demands on the behalf of a partner. Some other major planetary transits include Mercury retrogrades, January 30th to February 19th in your Aquarius 4th house. So we start out the year with an emphasis on rethinking your home and family life. Major, major, major trend here. May 29th to June 22nd in your Gemini 8th house, we have a Mercury retrograde. So rethinking your investments, your shared finances, and also any deaths that you're tied to in your life, especially monetarily. So if you're like dealing with inheritance money or even like setting up life insurance, that can also be something here. It's not all doom and gloom with the 8th house and death. It's like, how does death, show up in our daily life? We have life insurance. We have like a dependence on our cards and things like that. September 27th to October 18th, you have a Mercury retrograde in your Libra 12th house of self-undoing, poor habits, internal spiritual world. So ending the Mercury retrograde season in September into October, there is an internal rethinking that could lead to communication mishaps. We end the year with a Venus retrograde in your Capricorn 3rd house. So from December 19th to January 29th, we do have a retrograde in your 3rd house of siblings, short-term travel, daily routine, content output that you create on a daily basis. Your Capricorn 3rd house has been nailed for the past few years. So this Venus retrograde is kind of like, so what values do you actually hold there now that we have wiped out so much of your life in this area? Jupiter, like I mentioned, will be in your Aquarius 4th house of home and family for the full year. So 4th house is home and family. Jupiter is expansion and abundance and growth. So expect a focus on growing, property-wise or family connection-wise. However, Jupiter will move forward quickly enough to dip into Pisces in the middle of the year. So May 13th to July 28th, Jupiter will be dipping into Pisces. Jupiter rules Pisces, and it will be in your 5th house of creativity and romance. So May into July is an amazing time for you to launch creative projects or get on board with a romantic prospect or even try for having a child, because the 5th house is fertility and children and conception. So May into July, Jupiter dipping into Pisces is an amazing time for anything you're trying to create or spawn into the world. Great time. Besides that, for the rest of the year, it will be in your Aquarius 4th house of home and family for the growth. Saturn is also in your Aquarius 4th house of home and family, dealing with structures, limitation, and new challenges in that area of life at the same time. Uranus is still in your Taurus 7th house. It is there from from 2018 into 2025. So still upheavals, erratic shocks, and breakthroughs of new liberation in relationships and partnerships for you. It does look more of an experimental or wild card time in relationships rather than a settle down time, unless your partner that you're settling down with is that wild card that you are playing out in that way. Eclipses for the year are the major collective events falling into certain areas of life that are life-changing for you. So first eclipse, June 10th, there is a solar eclipse in your Gemini 8th house. A new beginning that comes off of the back of a structure falling that has to do with shared finances, joint assets, or deaths in your life. So again, likely that this is more mundane and like hiring an accountant. It could also be receiving an inheritance, or if you're like involved in the death industry at all, it could be that. But more than likely, it'll be something with shared finances or like opening up an investment portfolio. On November 19th, there is a partial lunar eclipse in your Taurus 7th house. This is out of sign, so it's partial. The North Node is still in Gemini when the moon is in Taurus, so it's far away. But this does involve a big breakdown of a chapter in relationships. Doesn't necessarily mean a breakup, but it does mean a breakdown of an existing structure in relationships that is to come. December 4th, there is a total solar eclipse in your Sagittarius 2nd house. Big energy around a new beginning for the next 6 months in finances and possessions. It does look like you are building up your portfolio or like spending money more wisely, so that's a plus. But do expect the beginning of December into next year to be flooded with focus on money. So if you already have thoughts around the astrology coming up for you in 2021, let me know down below how this sounds for you. Now let's move into the tarot and oracle deck cards. So tarot card for Scorpio Risings for 2021. We have the Knight of Swords. And this is interesting because the Knight, there's church bells ringing, I love it. There's a Knight. Knights are initiation and taking action on like the dirty work of life, like setting out, cutting things. Swords, literally cutting through with ideas. And I think that there's an idea of something that you're wanting to launch, and you're now realizing how you need to form your home and family choices to support your own life, like assimilating the money, dealing with parents and property, dealing with your partners, so that you can, especially in 2022, launch that creative vision. Law of Attraction card for Scorpio Risings for 2021. I see myself attracting harmonizing intent. I see myself attracting only those in harmony with my current intent, and I'm getting clearer and clearer in every moment about what it is that I want. It matters not what others are choosing. What is important is that I am pleased with me, and as I see myself, I certainly am. So seeing how contrasts right now, or troubles right now, are the kinks coming out, that you are harmonizing even in the contrast, and that what you are working through is resolution, that you are not building up conflict. You are working through the conflict that is now showing itself so that you can form a greater foundation in your life. If you enjoyed this and you would like to check out my courses and my offerings down below, everything is listed in the description for you to get started on as we enter 2021. So check out the Astrology Academy, the Manifestation Mysteries of the Moon, any other goodies I have going on there. Otherwise, make sure to like, subscribe, do all of the things, and let me know down below what you are claiming in 2021 for you. What are you seeking out based on these transits and what you feel like going after? Let me know. Otherwise, sending all the love, and I will see you in the next one.
But there is one thing you're all